Everyone, so this is Muppet's Treasure Island and extra frackles of like Muppets and stuff. So here we go. First stop is Brule the Minstrel. Oh, this is my most recent one. And yes, these I meant to be all in like the same size whenever, and wouldn't find with them like not being the same height. And this is a Fraggle Rock character, but when he appeared in Muppet Treasure Island, he was like one of the parrots at the beginning, like trying to get the map and stuff. And once the house was burning down on its own, what happened to him? Raguni. Okay, so this is another Fraggle Rock character. One of the strangest Fraggle Rock characters, really. But when I okay, keep in mind this is just like in the lower half of the body. I was just thinking of ideas. And the history with him was he was at like Hispaniola, and he was with Long John Silver, like his crew on the go with him on yeah, that's at Muppet Treasure Island, and he's finally, and his his ending in the movie of him was he was seen locked up in a cell. Okay, this is not a Muppet Treasure Island character, but this is a Frackle I just saw in like a sketch. Not much to say. Jackers Roads. Okay, so this character was actually another of the crew Hispaniola characters, and what happened to him was it was like against Gonzo, like the final battle, and he trapped him by starfish. Mr. Bite, with two T's. Okay, Mr. B-I-T-T-E, yeah. So this character was actually in the Muppet Christmas Carol, and he was what happened to him was he stayed on the boat to keep in guard, and he was scared off by Sammy Eros because Dr. Lively said pirates are superstitious. Spotted D-E-I-C-K. So this is okay. This is the actual this is the official name of this character. Don't hate me. So so that name means like D-I-C-K means it's like short for Richard, like my mom said. And what happened to him is he was in jail, and he was beaten up by Benjamin Gunn. Oh, I took two out. I'll take this one first. Mad Monty. Okay, so the only mistake is he's dark green in the movie, but I just made him turquoise. But this is, yeah. So he's like holding a knife right there, and I seen him like carrying a sword like in the beginning of the movie where you see him, and at the beginning he's like getting ready for the voyage to find the treasure, and he was seen locked up in a cell. Next is Clueless Morgan. Okay, so if you didn't watch, like, if you watched my Muppet Treasure Island like video, it was a bad voiceover, but okay. So Clueless, okay, I mean he looks angry, but it's just his hat. But keep in mind that. So Clueless is actually another one of those characters that so Polly, like he has a dislike him in some scenes because he thinks he's like not thinking right or something. He's like he thinks he's dumb or something, and he was actually beaten up while he was in the cell. Next is Angel Marie. So you see hold him machete and stuff, and his graceful name was despite his graceful name, and he has a grotesque face. So, and also there's this other character named Big Fat Bug Ugly Face Baby Eating O'Brien, something like that, and and that character is actually a pretty woman, and they just, and the Muppet Wiki says it is presumed that the two names switched, and that was the Pretty Woman's only appearance in the roll call. But he had like many appearances. Like, he is tough and like brutal, but he had a softer side in Cabin Fever where he dressed up as like a dress and he was playing ukulele, and in a good yeah, Cabin Fever. Polly Lobster, or Bad Polly. Okay, so this is Long John's pet. And yeah. Wait, I'm gonna do something. Okay, so he's actually and yeah, he accompanies Monty and Clueless. Like whenever Long John's not around, he goes like hang out with them sometimes. He goes like hang, yeah. And he was seen in jail beating up Clueless. If you I recommend you watch Muppet Treasure Island. It's a really good movie. Real Old Tom. Okay, so this is a character only made an appearance in Muppet Treasure Island, so you won't see him in other movies. And I don't know why, but okay. Real Old Tom. So, okay, let's get the other Toms out. This is Dead Tom. Old Tom. Okay, you have the three characters together. Dead Tom, the skeleton, Real Old Tom, the mummy, and Old Tom, the hairy old man. Okay, so let's talk about Old Tom first. So Old Tom is actually, he has many different background roles in other like Muppet like series. Dead Tom, he only appeared. He appeared in Muppet Treasure Island, but he appeared in another movie where and he appeared in Muppets Most Wanted. Not lying though. So, Dead Tom, he was seen in the roll call and Mobile Muppet. Like, he probably like keeps in like control of him, and he's crying over him because he's dead. Now let's talk about Real Old Tom. Real Old Tom is and what happened to Dead Tom was his Mudwell drops him and probably left him in the island. And what happened to Real Old Tom was what happened to him was he was scared off by Samuel Arrow. Well, he was disguised as a ghost. Last is Old Tom. Now, Old Tom, wait, fun fact. Real Old Tom actually had a small appearance in Cabin Fever. Okay, Real Old Tom actually is, he's like one of the, he's like one of the, like, more major pirates. Like, he had, like, many appearances during war in, Muppet Treasure Island stuff. And he was seen in jail. Speaking of Budwell, I made him. So, Budwell is actually a character, he's like one of course, like Long John's parents, and also he appeared in Fraggle Rock, I mean. So, like, he's not really much of a gangster, he's more like a goofy kind of guy, like that. And I did not see him in jail, but who knows what happened to him. The last time he was in the movie was he was scared off by Hispaniola, where it was like moving by. They think it was like moving by itself. Two characters. Okay, first one, One-Eyed Jack. One-Eyed Jack is actually one of the weirder characters. He also appeared in Muppet Christmas Carol as like a vegetable seller, and in two roles in Muppet Christmas Carol. He appeared in here as a vegetable seller and a prisoner. So yeah, two small different roles. And Muppet Treasure Island, he had a bigger role. Like, he appeared in like many background roles and stuff. And he was scared off by Samuel Arrow. He stayed on the ship to keep in control. Next is Blind Pew. So this character is like mostly all wrong because the hair and stuff and the clothing, but Blind Pew in different clothes. Yeah. So what happened to him was he's like trying to search for the map and trying to get like attack Billy Bones and stuff. And he was seen with like other pirates later on, and he sounded like, I smell something burning. Like that's what his last line is. Well, the fire was still going on. Like there was like an exploding bomb, and he was like still in it. But he probably died in there. Next is Calico. Calico is actually a character. There's also a human pirate named Calico Jerry, but this is not to be confused with him. So Calico is actually one of those he's a monocle in Muppet Treasure Island, and what happened to him is he was beaten up by Sweetums, and he was never seen for the rest of the movie. Wait, Black Dog. So he's like a partner to Blind Pew, kinda, and what happened to, and he's like one of the attackers as well at the pirate, like at the beginning pirates, and he the bomb was like starting to blow up, and he hit his head on the roof, and yeah, that's what happened to him. And his head went through the roof. That's what happened to him, and he was not seen for the rest of the movie. And that's Black Dog. Not much to say. Also, he appeared like as one of the prisoners, as in Muppet was Most Wanted. It's the same with Blind Pew. Undertaker. Now, Undertaker is actually another character from Muppet Christmas Carol. Undertaker is this bird creature, and he looks different. Like he wore like fancy clothes in Muppet Christmas Carol, but in Muppet Treasure Island he wore like prisoner clothes and like messed up clothing, and I drew a knife on there. And yeah, and what happened to him? He was headbutted by Samuel Arrow during the final battle. Next is the gray frackle. Now, he may not look gray, but this is the closest thing I have. And he doesn't look like the gray frackle. Like, and he also appeared in Muppet Christmas Carol. And he was beat. And he was like burned in the house or something. I think that's what happened to him. His fate is like off screen. I put them in this truck. Wally Pike. Okay, Wally Pike is actually one of my other favorite pirates. I made him like small, but yeah, I'm fine with it. And he's also a true pike, and he went to the island, did not stay on the ship, but he was not seen fighting, and he was not seen in like a lot of background like scenes. And he was finally seen in jail. Next is this. It's a frackle from like, it's not from Muppet Treasure Island, but I decided to make him anyway. And yeah, he appeared in The Great Santa Claus, which, and not much to say, except I don't know if he's a frackle, but I know he's like a snake creature. And this frackle sketch, there's barely anything to say, is that he's just a blue snake frackle sketch. Next is Mr. Curly Twirly. Now, I mean, he may not have clothes on, but he's a hairy monster, but that's okay. So, he's a character that he is one of the pirates that appeared in Muppet Treasure Island, and I don't know if he's in Fraggle Rock. I don't watch Fraggle Rock, but I watch the Muppets. But yeah, he was beaten up. Now we're going on to the unnamed characters. This is his official name, but they just consider him an unnamed character. This is Beggar. So he's like this troll creature that carries like a stick. And even though he does not carry a stick of Muppet Treasure Island, but I just like him like this. And he's seen in jail. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to him after that. And he appeared in Muppet Christmas Carol. Next are the unnamed characters. We have a few of them left. Next is Wolf. Now, this character is a background character. He was like seen in a Muppet Show or something. The Muppet Show. And he appeared in Muppet Treasure Island and was scared off by Samuel Arrow. Next is the Wedge-Nosed Pirate. Now, yeah, he has sneakers. And I'm in like a red jumpsuit. And he wears red. But in cabin fever, he was wearing like a fancy dress and like a hat. And his defeat was he was beaten by Sweetums, not seen for the movie like Calico. This is quite a long video. Next is the Purple One-Tooth Pirate. Okay, so this pirate, he was first seen like singing the song with One-Eyed Jack, but unlike One-Eyed Jack, he went to the island, but he was seen in jail beating up Clueless. Not much to say about most of these characters. Next is the Dodo. So Dodo is actually he's like a character from like the Muppets, but in Muppet Treasure Island he wears like a prisoner suit, and he was like he jumped off by Samuel Arrow off the ship. Last one is the Red Fang Pirate. So this character is he went to the island and stuff, and so not much to say. He was not seen in the battle or something, but he has a solo line in Cabin Fever, in the beginning of Cabin Fever, and he's like, "I got cabin fever, it's burning my brain," like that. This is a long video, and yeah, that's him. He went to the island, but not seen in jail. So these are all my characters right now. Oh, one more. New Zealand. Okay, this is actually one of the more. He's not a minor character, even though he's in the Muppet Show, but I made him to a pirate anyways because he was like a minor villain in Muppet Treasure Island. So that's all of them. Yeah, I did not. This is like entire, but this is not like all the pirates I did. I'm not finished yet, but stay tuned for part 2. Like, subscribe, all that, and see you. Wait for the next video.